Kent Stones from Fake Not. Last time we talked about what trust was, and we talked about there was two types of trust: functional trust and emotional trust. And we talked about how all trust starts functionally, where there's an expectation about an outcome simply from the exchange, and it can progress to a higher level of emotional trust, but only if there is a degree of risk associated with it by the person who you are expecting to trust. Today, I want to talk about three foundational elements that actually influence this progression toward a more level of emotional trust. Now, these three areas are based off of a proposed model for organizational trust by Mayer, Davis, and Shorman, who proposed an integrated model of organizational trust, and it was based on the concepts of ability, integrity, and benevolence. And I really liked the way that they framed up this model, because it's very clear, it's very concise, and when you talk to business people about it in this way, it resonates. And we'll talk a little bit about what each one of those mean. But we've actually taken this and added it into a more expansive model of trust that we think better incorporates and typifies the the cultural system of trust that we talk about. So we're going to talk about, rather than ability, integrity, and benevolence, we're going to talk about competence, integrity, and benevolence. We use the term competence because we think it is a little more encompassing than just simply ability, which is a skill or a talent or so forth. And competence starts to look at how well you are at being able to actually deliver that ability. So competence, if we think about it, is kind of the classic and traditional brand positioning work that we've always done. Don't get me wrong, it's very, very important and work that we have to do, but it is the quality, the feature set, the technology required, the distribution system. You know, a lot of the 4 Ps that, or 5, whichever model you decide to follow. But it's those things we have historically looked at as the cornerstone of historical brand positioning. And the challenge is that I think, as we've all experienced, people are making decisions on a lot more than that now, and a lot higher level aspects of a brand. But if you think about it, these areas have simply become table stakes. If you think about your setting your brand strategy, feature differentiation and advantage used to be one of the cornerstones, but now in this era when I think everything can be reverse engineered so quickly and copied and brought to market so fast, that we just have to simply look at those as a short-term strategy and as a short-term foundation for functional trust. And does your brand provide the level of experience, usability, service that is expected by someone buying this brand? So all the work we've been doing and Sigmund, it's step 1. So the next step that we'll be focusing on is about integrity. And think of this as the set of principles or values that someone expects your organization or your brand to live by. And frankly, this is where a lot of brands are focused right now. We hear, I don't know how many times I hear about a brand being purpose-driven, or purpose as being the underlying aspect of a brand strategy. And again, all great, but it's still not enough, because if we think about purpose, it's still very brand-centric. It's a little self-centered still. So we will talk about that next week and what that next step is. And then beyond that, we'll start talking about some of the higher level aspects of trust in terms of benevolence and a fuller understanding of the system of trust that incorporates all the stakeholders. I hope everyone had a great 4th of July this week and a good weekend, and we will continue these discussions about trust and the foundation of trust and what's driving it and creating it in this time when so much seems fake.